Everyone online seems to have the perfect study method. Every week, there's a new trick that's supposed to change your life. Some people say studying longer is the answer. Others say you should barely study at all. So instead of believing strangers on the internet, I decided to find out for myself. For the next 7 days, I would follow one study method backed by science and nothing else. The rules were surprisingly simple, but sticking to them would be the real challenge. I honestly thought this would be easy. Read the chapter, close the book, and remember everything, right? Then I asked myself a simple question: what did I just read? My mind went completely blank. I could remember a few words, but not the ideas. That was frustrating. But according to the science, this struggle wasn't failure. It was the moment learning actually began. I came back to the same chapter, but this time I didn't start by reading it. I started by testing myself. To my surprise, I remembered more than yesterday. Not everything, but enough to notice a difference. That's when I realized something important. Learning wasn't happening while I was reading, it was happening while I was trying to remember. I expected everything to become easier, but it didn't. Some answers came instantly, while others completely disappeared from my mind. At first, I thought I was doing something wrong. Then I realized forgetting wasn't the enemy, it was showing me exactly what I needed to review. Instead of reading the whole chapter again, I reviewed only the parts I couldn't remember. For the first time, studying felt targeted instead of endless. Something unexpected happened. I wasn't trying as hard to remember anymore. The answers started coming to me naturally. The biggest surprise wasn't remembering more, it was remembering faster. Information that took minutes to recall on day one now appeared in seconds. That's when I understood something important. I wasn't building a better memory, I was building stronger connections. I stopped worrying about whether the method worked. I wanted to know if I could actually use what I'd learned. When I checked my answers, I was genuinely surprised. I remembered concepts that I would normally have forgotten by now. The biggest change wasn't my score, it was my confidence. For the first time, I trusted what I knew instead of guessing. Something had changed. I wasn't forcing myself to use the method anymore. It had become part of my routine. The biggest surprise wasn't that I remembered more, it was that studying felt less stressful. I wasn't trying to memorize everything, I was simply strengthening what I already knew. Looking back, I realized the method hadn't changed my brain overnight, it changed my daily habits, and that made all the difference. This was the moment I'd been waiting for. No more practice, no more reviewing, just one final test. Question after question, the answers came back faster than I expected. Not perfectly, but much more confidently than on day one. The biggest lesson wasn't that I suddenly had an amazing memory. It was that remembering became easier because I stopped studying passively. So, is this the world's best study method? I can't answer that for everyone. But after 7 days, I know one thing for sure. I'll never go back to studying the old way. What study method should I test next? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this experiment, subscribe for more science backed learning challenges.